No, I can't speak. Now, if you haven't slashed your wrist yet, you're on Kontroversy. TA Network. The show that makes you want to slash your wrist or slash someone else's wrist at least.
Well, it depends on week by week.
Right.
This is true. Now, this is a combined, this is where we're doing a new thing here. We're comboing the girls at the end of the program with the third story. Now, this is an anti-gay protest in Uganda. Oh, bring it on.
No, the thing is that this thing is going on for a while.
Yeah.
There is this one
of
member of parliament of the ruling party named David Bahati that he proposed that he tabled the bill. There is already there that will put anyone that they find out is, what's it called, engaged in homosexual activity, put in jail for 14 years, and he will try to make it life sentence.
Wow, that's completely, that's rank.
And the underline that people doesn't know about it.
Yeah.
Anyone that know about it and withhold information, like if I know golf is lesbian, I withhold information.
Yeah.
Well, that's a nice example. Thank you, Tulip.
We know you're not a lesbian, but you're lesbian friendly.
And then I withhold information. Somebody can just tell authority, and they put me in jail for 7 years.
Yeah, but this one, you see, this is like from last just on Monday in the capital of Kampala.
Yeah.
They have a march
to
support the bill. They call it Million Man March Against Homosexuality.
Yeah, because they're all Catholic and Christians and all that weird stuff. And
they were saying that those who oppose to this particular marching or the bill are those people who actually want to see the children's, God. Apparently, they're afraid of pedophile. And I'm like, well, not all gay people would like to get it on with the children.
Well, the thing is that like pedophilia is not like about a man or a woman or sex or a colour. It's about a person who
exactly.
It's about one person, whoever they are, happens to do that. And
that's what they claim.
Crazy stuff. And can I just say, I have to say this, that like being around for a long time and having a very big understanding about homosexual culture around the world is I often find that when these type of like militant type of hardcore PMs or prime ministers, or presidents or whoever they are, in people in parliament putting these bills on, I think that's what I actually classify as latent homosexuality, is they're scared of that in themselves.
Yeah,
so,
that's what I
think.
If
you're gonna carry on like an idiot about this, is that what the dude's scared of himself? Do you know what I mean?
Okay,
oh, this pisses me really right off.
Here is what the president of the country, President Yoweri Museveni, has been quoted in the local media. He said, homosexuality is a Western import. Joining some Ugandan and continental religious leaders who believe it is un-African. He said homosexual is un-African. And I actually found the article that the man who tabled the bill, David Bahati, write in Observer Uganda. He said combating homosexuality is not easy. There is a massive recruitment in schools, mostly single-sex schools.
A recruitment.
Yes.
well, let me tell you this. All my gay friends out there, if there's a recruitment, go over there. Like, they're all single. They're all looking for someone. That's ridiculous. Like, this is this whole Christian carry-on. Do you know what I mean? No offense to our Christian viewers out there. But I mean, like, most Christian people I know are very open and very liberated. But this old sort of like 14th century, burn the witch type of mentality is it's absolute bullshit. Do you know what I mean? And it's awful.
And the name of that article is homosexuality is not a human right.
Crazy.
And he said people should try to put it in the same thing. He doesn't believe that against homosexuality it has something to do with discrimination. But I personally, I am not gay, but I feel very offended every time people say something negative about have different sexual orientation.
Exactly,
it's just something come natural.
Yeah, because like I always tell people, because I'm surrounded by my lesbian friends. Like I attended 2 weddings.
Yeah,
they're both beautiful and they're lesbians. There's 2 women get together, which is great. But the thing is, I always tell people keep this in mind that minus all the gender, it's one person loving the other person regardless of the sexes. Yeah, like that's as simple as that.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think that, like, well, I hope, but obviously it's not the case, that, like, in 2010 on this earth, if we haven't got that sort of over and done with, and people just getting on with who they are, and people respecting that, we're completely.
Well, because they make it illegal.
We're up shit creek.
Yeah.
So yeah.
There was one lady who said that I have a verse in the Bible. Leviticus 20, verse 13, and it says that homosexuals should be put to death. And yes,
that's not what it says.
Well, I'll tell you this, okay? As I studied all this this sort of Bible stuff when I was younger, because I was into studying all forms of like mythology and spirituality and whatever. And it's interesting that like in the 12th to the 14th centuries, in I think it was mid Europe, they killed 90% of the women, and then of course homosexuality became even larger because all the women were classified as witches and heretics.
Oh yeah.
So then and then they used to burn all the gay guys. So like there was not much people left. It's like, oh please.
Are they trying to like?
You know, let's burn everyone.
De-number the amount of people.
Like, oh, for God's sake! I was burned back then. I know.
Don't worry. I'll be there with a bucket of water.
I'll be saying, no, burn me. I want to get out of this place.
The thing about homosexuality, I went to one of these museums in Louvre Museum in Paris.
Yeah.
And there's some sculpture that have both sexual thing on one person.
Yeah.
So I think that it is accepted back then.
Yeah.
It's
Look, it's
I mean, it's naked statue with breasts.
In Greece, they do that in the old time, Roman, you know.
Yeah, I don't know. The thing is, it's like the same thing with California law that they let people get married.
It's a Christian invention, and I'm telling you that even stuff I've
whatever.
read to do with Jesus, the sort of person Jesus was, he wouldn't have even cared about it. Do you know what I mean? He was open to everyone. It's all this like this really middle-aged, weird sort of like in the Gothic periods of Greater Europe. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, if you didn't do a certain thing, they'd cut your head off. Do you know what I mean? Not even about sexuality, about anything. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, on that note of cutting people's heads off, we'll leave you and see you next week. I love you both. And see you later next week.
Make music.